Good evening, everyone. Ordinarily, when you guys drag me up here, you've had more wine, and so have I. So I'm apologizing in advance for being selected to go first. I can't control this. I know also for those of you who've been here for several years, you've been subjected to me every year. I tried desperately to get out of it by not indicating any interest and instead received an email yesterday saying that I was introducing someone. So, nevertheless, I'm actually very excited to get to introduce Alexis tonight. Now, I know when we think about the students that we've seen in the room, we've had some high-achieving students, and we've had some students that have gone through some significant adversity to get where they are. I'm not sure we've had a student that lettered in 11 sports, while also going on to Occidental University and then getting a law degree. In the process, it seems about the only thing that Alexis was unable to do was keep her body whole through all 11 sports. She proudly told me it would have been 12 if it weren't for the torn ACL. Excuse me, the first torn ACL. You know what it's like when they start naming the numbers of how many incidents they've had. But Alexis indeed received a Bachelor of Arts in History from Occidental College in 2014 and was an academic All-American golfer at the same time, and just finished up her JD from McGeorge School of Law at the University of the Pacific in Stockton, and is now working in a top-secret organization for which I'm not permitted to speak about. I'm told it's a branch of the Department of Justice. I'm told I'm not allowed to tell you any more than that. Otherwise, the little red dot will appear on my forehead. I've been reassured. I'll be given the axe, so. But very excited to introduce Alexis Holmes this evening to introduce her nominee.
That's how a reputation precedes oneself. I do work for a 3-lettered agency, and no, I'm not allowed to tell you. So good evening. As Jude mentioned, my name is Alexis Holmes, and it is an absolute joy for me to be here to introduce Melissa Berry for such an amazing honor. I come from a family of educators. My mom's a teacher, my grandma was a teacher, my grandfather was a teacher, and it's amazing to me how Melissa stands out, even among my parents. I do want to take a moment to thank the foundation for bringing us all here tonight, because they do amazing work in recognizing teachers because they're chronically under-recognized. And I just want to thank you for picking such a worthy cause. And it's incredible that you're a perpetual foundation. My tax law tells me that. So what an amazing accomplishment. I met Miss Berry back in 2006 at a track practice. I was a thrower. So a thrower throws discus and shot put, and I never saw myself as a runner. My mom's a cross-country coach, and of course she made me run, but I never saw myself as a runner. And what ended up happening is that Miss Berry does not recognize distinctions like that on her track team. Her track athletes are track athletes, and they will behave as such. I'd never done a hurdle before in my life, and I can tell you after that day, my lack of knowledge about hurdles blossomed into a sheer hatred, because hurdles are not tools for track. They are imported devices from the Spanish Inquisition and medieval torture devices. I couldn't walk for a week, but she made me work, and she made me work hard. And that's amazing, because I felt trapped in Tahoe. Tahoe is beautiful. I should mention that Melissa Berry teaches at South Lake Tahoe, California. And Tahoe is a tourist destination, but there's only 2 roads out, and you're feeling trapped, and there's so many places for your ambitions to go, and I didn't have anyone to push me. Miss Berry was that push. Miss Berry teaches history and psychology, but the genius of Miss Berry is that she doesn't teach you the materials of history and psychology. She teaches you a love. I went to Occidental College and majored in history, but I tell you what, I learned my love of history from Miss Berry. I I still remember Macedonian marketplaces because in AP World History, we go from Macedonia to 9/11. It's 10,000 years. And we did it, though. And my partner was joking that you went from Macedonia to 9/11. And I was like, yeah, she's that good. She is that good. The thing about history, for a lot of students, I will say, though, is that they see it as dates. They see it as material to regurgitate, and that events happen to people. And I don't see it that way after Mrs. Berry's class. People lived in profound times of change and upheaval, and they experienced it, and we didn't. And without being able to put ourselves in those perspectives, and without being able to empathize with other people from different times, different places, different perspectives, what are we doing in the world? And that was my love of history, and I got that from Miss Berry. I should note that she didn't actually sign up to teach AP World History. A precocious group of 19 of us approached you, if you'll remember, and we asked you to teach AP World History because they weren't going to offer the course. And Miss Berry stood up to the administration for us and let us take that class. And I think without AP World History, I may not have majored in history. I developed my love there, and for that, thank you seems little. And so with that, it is my absolute honor to introduce Miss Berry tonight, and for all the love of history and for all the lives you changed from South Tahoe High School, because there's a lot of South Tahoe survivors who will tell you, without Miss Berry, survivors, that will tell you that Miss Berry was one of the most formative teachers they had. And so it is my honor, and let's give her a big round of applause, to introduce Miss Berry.
I was one of those that was completely shocked. I had no idea that it was Alexis. And I believe that was captured on film because I immediately started crying. Because as you can tell, she is amazing. And it is not her that is lucky to have had me. It is me that is lucky to have had her. And in reality, that's how I feel about all of my students. My son is here tonight. And one of the things he hates about me is, I'm sorry, is that I have one son, but my students are my kids. And I know that the people in this room do the same. I always call them my kids. And ever since this horrible world we live in, that we have shooters on campus, I tell them that I would lay down my life for them, for every one of them. And he hates that, but I would. And you can see why. So thank you to the Carlston Family Foundation and to all of the other teachers that I met today that are way more amazing than me. But thank you to everyone that chooses to put their life out there for the kids, because they are the ones that are our future. And I feel proud to be able to be there for someone like Alexis and to see all the ones that are out here for the kids. So thank you.